Hello, Mr. Ambassador, Mr. Kozel, Mr. Christophe Ceska, sorry.
Absolutely. Good morning.
Good morning, Ambassador Ceska. Sorry for the slight mistake in the name. How much do we know of the identity of the Austrian whose passport was discovered used illegally, I guess, by the passenger on board the flight MH370, Christian Kozel?
Yeah, well, what happened is that we checked upon these Austrian citizen immediately yesterday morning, and the police in Austria found out that this man is still alive and sitting in his flat in Salzburg in Austria. So it must have been, and what happened is that he declared his passport to have been stolen 2 years ago in Bangkok. So at that time, the embassy in Bangkok issued a second passport. And this Christian Kozel is in possession of a second passport and still alive and living in his flat in Salzburg. So it must have been another person traveling and using this passport, this first passport, traveling aboard the commercial flight Malaysian Airlines 370.
How was the Austrian embassy here made known of the issue of the incident where the passport was wrongly used by somebody else, assuming the identity of Mr. Kozel?
Yeah, what we did actually is that the embassy immediately called the Malaysian Airlines yesterday morning, and we got the name of this Christian Kozel and his supposedly passport number, and then we checked at the embassy with the list of the registered Austrians living in Malaysia, where we couldn't find his name, first of all. And secondly, we checked on with our passport registration program, with our nationwide, and we realized that this passport, which was this claimed passport, has been declared stolen 2 years ago.
This wrongful use of the Austrian passport, is this something which is widespread? Is the Austrian passport valued in this way by people with such intentions, with what has been done with the passport of Kozel?
No, this is not fraudulent. What happened is that when Austrian citizens lose their passport, they are entitled to get a second passport, a copy of it. And now, what happens, it is true that sometimes people claim to have lost their passport just to get another one. But that is something that we can't, where it is difficult to work against. So occasionally people claim they have lost their passports, and we issue them a second one.
Is the incidences of using Austrian passport illegally quite widespread, Mr. Ambassador?
No, I'm not aware of a widespread use of fakely claimed lost passports. I'm not aware of that at all. These are exceptional cases.
This illegal use of the Austrian passport suggests a number of possibilities. In the past, would there have been incidences where perhaps such illegal use has led to something as serious as this?
Sorry, I don't understand your question now.
In the past, when there were incidences of Austrian passports being used illegally this way, has there been any similar incidences, international incidents, for instance?
I'm not aware of any. No, actually, this is the first case I'm encountering, and I have been working with the Foreign Ministry for 18 years now. No, this is, for me personally, this is the first case that I've been aware of.
As far as the embassy is concerned, when you come across an incident like this, what would the standard operating procedure be for the embassy? You would be consulted by our security authorities, for instance, I would guess?
Yes, sure. But what happens is in these cases, we proactively engage immediately with the security authorities of the host country. And that's actually what happened. What we did yesterday, we immediately called Malaysian Airlines to check up on the list and to get to know whether an Austrian was on board this missing flight.
What lessons would be learned from this case, Mr. Ambassador? Would the Austrian embassy be more circumspect in issuing notices to its passport holders to be extra careful? Because I understand that Mr. Kozel lost his passport while traveling in Bangkok some 2 years ago.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we are always very careful when with issuing a second passport. So I have to check up on my authorities back in Vienna. Maybe they will look into this, but actually we have very stringent rules to deliver second passports anyway. But I think it is very difficult for authorities, to really to see into whether the claim of a lost passport is true or not. Anyway, if someone loses his passport, he has a right to get one identity card or a second passport.
As far as the Austrian embassy in Kuala Lumpur is concerned, Mr. Ambassador, the extent of your involvement, of the embassy's involvement in this case would be the fact that it has been established that the passport has been wrongly used by someone who assumed the identity of Mr. Kozel, and that's the end of the any involvement of the Austrian embassy in this matter?
No, that's not the end. We will look into this issue once again more thoroughly. We will look upon how the second passport was delivered, and we will work now with all the authorities on this issue.
Would the Austrian embassy discount any possibility of terrorism? Because this does suggest a wider involvement of international figures in the loss of the passport, Mr. Ambassador?
No, I can't. There is absolutely nothing which links this passport to any terroristic activities. I really have absolutely no details on something of this matter, and I just think that the passport was stolen, it was used by someone else than Mr. Kozel, and these are things that could have happened with any other passport, not just with Austrian passports.
Mr. Ambassador, you've been very helpful in this in our interview this morning. We thank you very much for interrupting your weekend. So I apologize for interrupting your weekend. We will be wanting to speak to you from time to time should there be any developments. Thank you very much, Mr. Ambassador.